having a special Christmas office hours conversation. We finished our lectures on our sermon series, and we're just gearing up for Christmas Eve and Christmas Pre-Eve and what that's going to be like. So we just thought we'd share some of our traditions and our favorite parts about Christmas and what it means to us. So, clergy friends, what are your favorite Christmas traditions that you participate in or as a family you've done?
Well, I guess I'll go first. I'm a preacher's kid, so Christmas Eve has always been kind of full and time-consuming, but in Christmas Day then is super low-key, super chill, and that's how it is in my home, too. We do little to nothing on Christmas Day, and we try to have peace in the midst of all of the chaos that is over now. And I love that. I love that we're not available. We're just there for each other. And so that's something that we've kept that I grew up with.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot of traditions. I felt like it was a little bit different every year. One of the only traditions that we had is that every year my dad and I would put the star on the tree together. So we have pictures of me every year putting the star on the tree. But being an only child and an only grandchild, we were super flexible. There was not a lot of family that we had to work around. And so sometimes my grandparents came to us. Sometimes we went there. And so there were different traditions throughout the years. As I got older, I remember there being just different things we would do. If we started going to the later 11 o'clock services at church, and we started doing, because everybody wanted to sleep in on Christmas Day, so we would open presents on Christmas Eve instead. And so it's interesting. Part of the tradition was just kind of doing what was right for us each year, too, and not feeling bound by any specific practice, too.
Yeah, we didn't quite have a ton of traditions either growing up. But the one thing we did have is my mom would do what she called the 7 days of Christmas, where she got up early to go to work, and our dad was typically the one that got us up. But she would leave small stocking stuffers for us the 7 days leading up to Christmas. And it was just always super cool to wake up and see what she had left. That was probably my favorite thing growing up.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, some basic Christmas questions.
Wait, Jen, you didn't talk about your traditions.
Christmas traditions in our family are a big deal. It was like Christmas was the time where we just blew it out.
Really?
Like,
do you like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
Do you have any stories about Christmas?
I have so many stories. Anyway, I grew up in a family where we would go down and cut our tree, and we had vaulted ceilings, and so they were like tens of feet tall, and we'd have to tie them off because they were so big. And we put out, cut up milk cartons that we would paint Merry Christmas and make luminaries, and we would go see Christmas lights. I mean, we have a ton of traditions in the family I grew up in, which is interesting because John didn't. And so when John came into our family, he was like overwhelmed, I think.
Yeah.
Like what? And now he takes he's a slow burn to get to it, but he loves it. And our kids are really, really, really Christmas tradition people. So
one tradition in our family that my parents started was the white envelope. The last gift that's open is the white envelope in the tree. And there's a beautiful story. I need to Google it and pull it up again. But it was a gift that was given to other people in our name.
Yeah.
And
that's really cool.
That is sweet.
So on your Christmas tree, white lights or colored lights?
Yes.
Yeah, white.
Both?
We prefer white, yeah.
White?
I prefer white. Shelley prefers
colored.
Colored?
Yes.
Yeah. White lights.
Both?
Yeah.
I'm a both.
I mean, we have a
person.
little bit of everything. We have 6 trees, so there's that.
It's like one or the other.
But
How do you do both?
if I'm gonna pick colored or white lights anywhere, it's gonna be colored every time.
Yeah.
My favorite lights are and we have these. It's the only thing we have that aren't
C9?
LED. I wanted the old. It is probably destroying our electric bill this month, but I wanted C9 bulbs on the front of my house.
There you go.
And they just don't look the same in the LED version.
No, they
so
don't.
it's my.
I agree.
If I can ask, red and green Christmas or silver and gold Christmas?
Oh. See, I because Christmas barfs in my house, so I have a red and green room.
Did you pick
I have a burgundy and hunter green room, and then I have a silver and gold room.
Choose your own adventure Christmas, right?
Exactly.
Whatever you're feeling, that's the mood room. Go over there.
Yeah.
Always going silver and gold. Simple and clean.
Wow.
Simple and clean. Always silver and gold.
That's why I like just the white light.
So traditional Christmas music, carols versus like the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, old school Christmas music, or new pop Christmas music.
Rat Pack.
Rat Pack?
Every day of the week.
Okay.
It's got to be a mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a lot.
It's got to be a mix. I can't just listen to Frank Sinatra sing at me
Yeah.
all Christmas. Not all Christmas.
Well, and this year, our eldest, or all of our kids put together their own music lists, you know, on the playlist on the Apple, whatever, and they share them with us. And our eldest has put together an amazing collection of like new Christmas music that's like really, really good. So we've been listening to a lot of that this year.
I really hate to make fun of you, but you know they make the playlist on the music box.
and you put the tape player in, you get the mixtape. You got to put together the mixtape.
Got to press record and play at the same time.
So Santa presents.
Yes.
Now, people don't understand. I've already talked to Corey. I've already talked to Liz. I am a firm believer in Santa. I believe Santa is a wonderful entry point into understanding Jesus. I actually believe in Santa. And frankly, if you've seen the Noel movie on Disney Channel, I want to be the next Santa. So I'm working really hard to be that. But my question for you is, Santa presents, wrapped or unwrapped?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, it depends on the gift.
Oh,
like if it was
okay.
a bicycle, like I'm wrapping that. But yeah, it just depends on what kind of gift
Santa
it is.
brings, of course, 'cause Santa brings it, so-
Because he doesn't have to, or they don't have to, wrap that. But like the wooden railroad kits, the really cool things that I had growing up. My kids wanted those, and Santa brought those, and
Santa
those weren't wrapped. They were set up.
Okay,
It was set up.
I found out that Santa, I was told, I did not find out, right? That Santa was not real when I was 5. I was in kindergarten. And I thought that it was my responsibility that day on the school bus to let everyone know that Santa was not real.
Children are not listening to this podcast.
I
hope
feel
not.
like this.
Yeah.
No. Once again, I told you I was giving bad intel.
You were
Right.
Giving bad
go
intel.
on
and I
No
just-
Rad, you can see where Santa is every
Yes.
Christmas Eve. So, I'm
But
just
I will say wrapped and thrown to the side to be cleaned up later. I like to see the utter carnage
God, I
of
love
the
it.
Christmas.
I love it.
Yeah, of the wrap.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's interesting because my husband and I had, I mean, it's the same Santa, obviously, but I think Santa makes some different decisions for different kids. And so
Right.
Santa at my house did not wrap presents, and Santa at Will's house did, which I think some of that is because his family had a big tradition of wrapping presents, and so Santa wanted to be sure Santa fit into their family tradition as well.
Santa is inclusive.
Santa is inclusive,
Absolutely.
and Santa wants to be contextually appropriate for
I
each
appreciate
child.
that.
So my Santa presents were not not wrapped. But here's one of my funny Christmas stories related to that, because one year, one of the things Santa brought me, well, I'll tell you what it was in a minute. So I got up in the morning to go see all of my Santa presents, and went into the living room, and in the middle of, right in front of the tree, there was this big red, looked like a big red bag, and I was convinced in that moment Santa had made a mistake and left his bag at my
gosh.
house, and I was about to hit the jackpot.
These are all mine now. Finders keepers.
I got very, very excited.
I would have cried.
It
and gone,
was.
let's call Santa. He left his bag.
I was ready to take my pick. It turned out Santa had brought me a big red beanbag chair. Which would have been very exciting had I not first thought Santa had.
It was a little anticlimactic after that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Was that wrapped?
It was not wrapped.
It was not wrapped,
It was
okay.
not wrapped because it was red. It was red, so it
was
just
red,
looked
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Just thinking of Santa considering what to get a young Melissa, it's like that kid needs to sit down. somebody sit down.
Somebody needs to slow down. Okay, favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh.
Elf, but last night
Yes.
we watched 3-Bit Christmas, and it was really, really good with Neil Patrick Harris. I'm not being paid by Netflix to say that. It was a little like The Princess Bride, yet with Christmas. It was really good. I cried a lot.
So my favorite Christmas movie is not family friendly, so you shouldn't watch this with your family. But my favorite Christmas movie is Love Actually.
Yes.
But the one that I could recommend to families, I actually just watched last night with my husband because he had never seen it, and it's a movie from I think '85 called The Santa Claus Movie. It has John Lithgow
Yep,
in it.
so
It
good.
has
Grew up
Dudley
on it,
Moore
yeah.
in it, and we watched it last night, and I watched as it was starting. I said, "Oh, this is my picture of Christmas. This is my picture of Santa. This is my picture of elves. Like all of it." I realized how much that movie is Christmas.
That's the best
for me.
Santa. That's the Santa I grew
He's
up with.
100% the best Santa.
Toy Factory,
Yeah.
everything. It's just,
So.
it's a great movie.
It's just called the Santa Claus movie.
Give me The Year Without a Santa Claus from 1942.
Wow.
It was Heat Miser, Snow Miser.
Yeah.
You can't beat those brothers. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. You got Baby New Year in there.
You do. It's
Yeah,
great.
man.
What about you?
I have a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it starts Thanksgiving night. We watch White Christmas. The next day we watch Elf. Christmas Eve we always watch It's a Wonderful Life, and we have to watch Polar Express. Those are my favorite. The best family cartoon movie though is Prep and Landing. Funniest Disney. Oh, you've got to watch it. It's excellent. It's so good. So, all right, favorite Christmas Eve memory or song, worship moment.
For some reason, the way the schedule is laid out, since I've been here, I'm there at the 11:15 service or 11 o'clock service on Christmas Eve, and there's something powerful and palpable and magical even about celebrating communion at 12:02. That's just, it's a favorite memory. It never gets old. And walking out in the parking lot, it's still, it's 1 o'clock, and we're all exhausted, and yet we're filled with just joy. That's one of my favorites.
I have a memory, and I talked about this earlier, of there was a point at which I was old enough that we started doing a lot of stuff on Christmas Eve and then going to the midnight service at church. And I have this memory of, I think, probably the first time we did this. I was probably 13 maybe, and there was just something magical in that moment. So I love ours as well, probably for the same magic that happens there late at night. And I just remember there being something different about that Christmas and feeling grown up in a different way, of going to the late service. But there was something sort of mystical in the air of that midnight moment, for sure. So
The tradition I grew up in, we didn't have Christmas Eve services, and so I didn't experience one of those until I was already a man. But but I hate to just kind of join both y'all's answers, but it is that moment of, it's not even necessarily the service, it's leaving the service together to go do Christmas. You know, there is this just lighter quality, this kind of special magic, you know what I mean, that you feel. Yeah.
You know, for me, we grew up as the Von Trapp family in my church, and we always had to sing the late Christmas Eve service. It was my family. And I mean, even me, like 4 years old, first solo, away in the manger, standing on, 20 books. And so very powerful for my family, to be able to sing Silent Night while 2,000 people walked out with their candles, and because that's how we used to do it. And so there's a bit of nostalgia for me when we're at any of the services and we sing Silent Night. And because it was, my family would even giggle because we had to sing it so many times in order to get 2,000 people out of a sanctuary. And just, it's this surreal moment, the lighting of the candles and the beauty of the sanctuary, and just this collective feeling of, this is what it's all about. This is, if we really took this moment seriously and took our lights out in the world, incarnation would be happening all over the place. And so that's it for me.
So I got a question for y'all. What's your favorite St. Luke's Christmas tradition? The thing that we do at St. Luke's what is that for you?
I feel ill-equipped to answer this question.
I know your first Christmas was in a pandemic.
Right. It was very different.
Although it was beautiful.
Yeah,
there was
course.
something really powerful about being in
it
the
was
sanctuary by
beautiful
ourselves.
to be with y'all. Or even I think about the Christmas before I got here. Y'all, the three of y'all sent me this video talking about how y'all couldn't wait for me to be on the team and for us to do stuff like that together, and that was beautiful. So I guess that's mine. That's not necessarily a tradition, but it's a memory. You still got that on your phone? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I've got a new phone since I need that. I need that. Yeah.
My favorite Christmas Eve at St. Luke's memory. I think it's the moment. I know what it is. It's the shh video. It's the shh video that we found that we thought we'd use one year, and we've used it for like
Every year.
8.
Yeah, it's so
And
good.
it's that moment where there's like people are coming back and they're hugging each other and they haven't seen each other in a while, and the families and kids aren't there, and then all of a sudden we play that video and it just goes shh, and then the rest of it's silent, and everyone is quiet. And there's some funny things in it, and then everyone collectively laughs together, and then it's quiet again. And I love that moment. That's my favorite St. Luke's moment.
It brings everyone together.
Yeah, you can just feel the energy and the excitement, and we're ready. And then I get to say, welcome to Christmas Eve at St. Luke's. And there's just this like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's tough. I've had 3 now. This will be my 4th. 2, again, we don't use the normal word anymore, but pre-pandemic, and then last year. I think, last year was very fascinating to watch come together because we made 18 different plans, and watching how even in the midst of the process being completely exhausting, being so many different things we had to figure out, seeing our choir come together, I think it's seeing all the people that these things happen in these disparate places. And it kind of happens every Sunday, but on Christmas Eve, we have bigger stuff. We have more people. We have more moving parts. We have different things. And they have to happen back to back to back to back to back. Yeah. And it's seeing the story still come together in this beautiful, perfect way every single time, every single service, even in the imperfections, even in the moments where we realize we've missed something or whatever it might be. So I think for me, it's always that just gelling of things. It all turns out fine. Mm-hmm. And
it's also that moment where we're all standing in the back, and it's the tech staff and the music staff waiting to process in, and the ushers, and especially just the staff. I mean, it's our time to we just get to be family together and pull off some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love the Christmas blessing. I've never seen that before in church.
I'm changing mine. That one.
And I know that I'll take that to whatever church I serve next, and I hope to not serve any other church next. But I love that. I love. It's powerful, and it seems so apropos. It seems so appropriate. It's like it feels like the first gift of Christmas. So I love that.
Well, we are excited because we're coming back. We're coming back to normal services. So, and we have some really beautiful things planned.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give it away, but all this year is going to be culminating. I'm so excited. So, of course, we always ask St. Lukers for you to come on December 23rd. We don't know how many people are going to come back to worship at Christmas Eve with all that's going on in the world still, but we want to make sure that there's room, and there's room also to spread out. And we are inviting our neighbors through postcards and mailers and things like that. So if St. Lukers, if you could come on December 23rd, we have 3 services. 6 o'clock will be run by our children's choir, 7:15 our traditional sanctuary choir, and 8:30 will be our praise team. So if you'll come back, and then if you'll come back and help and serve on December 24th.
Yes.
We need ushers, we need greeters, we need parking lot attendants. So on December 24th at 4 o'clock, of course, is the Nativity Pageant, which is this beautiful, beautiful exercise of chaos and creativity, and children getting to just be children. So come, bring your preschoolers and your little ones to that at 4, and then we have 5:30 and 7 is contemporary worship praise team, 8:30 and 10 traditional worship sanctuary choir, and 11:15 is communion. So we hope you'll come and be a part of it. Invite your neighbors, invite your friends, invite your family, and let's all come home for Christmas and hear a story, the greatest love story ever told. See you then.